Huge. Nice. Yeah, I like it.
You know, Mike, sure. I will always stay. One of those things that like. It's favorite something. Leave it and. Yeah, that was. Yeah. We do hear something. I did on the. I did also.
Oh, very.
Yeah, and it's on the left, so. Like, most of the, which is. And I put my wow. And then pretty soon I had to. These all the tailgate, all that, what is all the, they call it a grade mode.
This has multiple.
Yeah. You find anybody else.
It's ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That shoulder.
yeah, that one's over here. I can tell.
Yeah.
That's the only.
I like my.
Having to talk to you. Eric has to talk to you. That's why.
It's like, dude, that is way awesome. We do not. I can even stay here and it's summer. It's like.
I'm over here by the teacher. Get poked in the ribs all day long. Just like the old days, huh? Right. Watch protection this chair. It's there, that's all I know.
Yeah, I can see what come to. Nancy or Peter, whatever you get here.
Right now.
A bit on internet.
Internet.
We make more packets if we need to.
Okay, you want one of these?
I got that.
Anyone else need one?
All set, thank you.
Right. Right.
Hey, that's not. How about you?
And all that? Oh, man, great, still good. Oh, so.
Goes anywhere in a long
I can hear that.
Those are, I believe, ones that we just have to watch because they've gotten study for.
It's not on.
I just want to see well.
Yeah, I'm on it.
You are?
Oh, it's up now? Yeah,
What's that?
Wi-Fi. I'm on it.
Mike, do you wanna do the demo or the seven?
I don't know.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, it's like Thor's hammer.
No. All right, so it's 6:30. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the January 4th, 2024 Town Council meeting. I'm Nicole Nicolon, the Town Clerk of Pittsfield, and I'll be calling the meeting to order tonight prior to the election of our mayor and deputy mayor. The elections are going to be item 5 on the agenda. I want to start by inviting everyone to stand and recite the pledge of allegiance.
United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the Afro Moment slide, please. Thank you. So the first thing we're gonna do is swearing in the newly elected councilors, and based on the agenda, Jason, you're gonna be first. I'm gonna come right up here. Raise your right hand.
I, Jason Hall, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and will obey the laws of the United States and of the state of Maine, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the town of Pittsfield, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Counselor District 2, term 3 years, according to the Constitution and laws of the state. So help me God. Thanks.
Big chunk of that Kool-Aid.
Long way, but man.
Raise your right hand.
I, Ms. Talia Hall, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and will obey the laws of the United States and of the state of Maine, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the town of Pittsfield, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Counselor at Large, term 3 years, according to the Constitution and laws of the state, so help me God. Thank you.
All right, so next, we're going to go to number 5, which is the annual actions of the town council. And this is gonna be where we do the first order and elect the mayor. So it's gonna be order 2401, order electing a mayor to serve for the 2024 year. And there'll be a motion and nomination.
I move that we elect a new mayor as per order 24-01.
A second.
Nomination.
I'd like to nominate Michael Chiquette for repeat offense the next year.
Are we sure? Any other nominations? All right, so I will look for a motion to accept.
You just need to call for a vote on the nomination.
All right, so everybody that says aye, raise your hand. Any nays? No, all right, that passes. Congratulations, Mike, again.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Wow.
You want me to swear in or anything? Or
We
want me to swear in general?
can, no, yeah, we can do that, have you come up and swear,
Okay,
and then once the deputy gets chosen, we'll do the same thing.
okay,
Ready?
let's do that. Make it up. Eddie. I, Michael Chiquette, do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution, will obey the laws of the United States and of the state of Maine, and that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the town of Pittsfield, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor for 1 year according to the Constitution and laws of the state, so help me God. Thank you very much. All right, thank you all very much. I appreciate the vote of confidence from the council, and I will certainly do my best to not let you down. So let's move on to order 2402. You want to read that, please, Nicole?
Sure. Order 2402, order electing the deputy mayor to serve for the 2024 year.
I'll do a motion, council, please.
I move we accept order 2402 to elect the deputy mayor.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, please raise your hand. Very well. So now 2402, I will look for a nomination.
I move, I'd like to nominate Jason Hall to be deputy mayor for the year 2024.
Jason Hall. Do we have any other nominations? Very well. Let's vote on all in favor for Jason Hall as deputy mayor. Please raise your hand. Very well. Mr. Hall, congratulations. Once you,
Oh, I gotta read that again?
Yep.
yeah, you want to do the deputy mayor thing again? Make it official? Yeah. Yeah. Come on up. Most relevant.
I, Jason Hall, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and will obey the laws of the United States and of the state of Maine, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the town of Pittsfield, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of deputy mayor, term 1 year, according to the Constitution and laws of this state. So help me God.
Two big swigs of the Kool-Aid. Good deal. No, not yet, but just started. So let's move on to order 2403. You will, please, Nicole?
Order appointing town council members to the finance committee, ordinance committee, finance hearing authority, and police labor negotiating committee for the 2024 year.
Let's promote from the council, please.
Make a motion that we order 2403, that we vote on order 2403.
Second. Moved and seconded. Thank you, gentlemen. So let's start off with the finance committee. As always, we do have previous councils that were on there before, so I'll ask previous councils if you're willing to serve again.
Good. I will if I had to, but.
Okay, so me, well, for both me, Craig, would you be interested in offering your excellent accountability to the council and lead us into the next year?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, so we have two, Craig and Jason. Anyone else interested in the finance committee?
I'll serve again.
Heather? Very well, we have the three.
I would nominate Natalia.
Okay,
I think she'd do a great job.
you willing nomination? Okay, so what we can do is we have four counselors. If there's a counselor willing to step down, then so we don't have to vote, or we can do the vote. You want to step down? I'll step.
You sure?
I think I need to. Yeah. I wasn't sure how many we would have. It'd be best if I did. Would you be willing to act as consultant? Sure. Absolutely. All right, very well. So for the finance committee, we have Councilor Hall 2.0. We have Deputy Mayor Hall, and we have Councilor Donahue. So all those that wish to approve that, please raise your hand. All right, very well. We have a quorum. Thank you all very much for that. That is not the easiest committee to be on. It's greatly appreciated though. Okay, so let's move on to the ordinance committee. I believe Councilor Frost, Brent Frost was on there before. Who else was on that?
I think Howard was.
Were you on that?
Yeah, we just never met.
Would you be willing to step up again?
Sure.
Were you on that? Anyone else here? Well, if it's one that's not ever gonna meet, I'll join. Wow, we're starting off this meeting great, aren't we? So I will be willing to be on the ordinance committee. Anyone else? There's two councils. Anyone else willing to assist? Eric? All right, any other councils interested? We have three now. Okay, very well. For the ordinance committee, we have Councilor Saucier, we have, Mayor Chinquette, and we have Councilor Margolski. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the Fair Hearing Authority. I'm not sure who was on that before, I don't recall, you were on that, I think it is 2 councils.
Three councils.
Yeah.
I think our fifth person couldn't come that night for some reason. When we actually had everything.
Yes,
But it was just, you know. Eric, were you on that one as well?
I think it was, actually, I think it was
You weren't
Craig.
on that?
No,
Craig, were you on that?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yes, fair. Okay. So I'll ask, would
That's
you?
the, that
Yeah.
for the first time that it been, and you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just have to be careful. So the 3 previous councils, would you be willing to serve again? Craig, we'll start with you. Okay, Heather?
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, you would?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. We have 3 councils for the Fair Hearing Authority. We have Council Chester, Council Donahue, and Councilor Margolski. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, very well. We have the Fair Hearing Authority, and we have the Police Labor Negotiating Committee. Do we know who was on them? 2?
Heather.
No, it's not on it.
I don't recall if I was on there.
Last time.
What was it?
It's the Police and Labor Negotiating Committee.
Wasn't it Howard and Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Chief says.
Yeah.
I was there. Let's ask the,
Is that a vote?
I don't vote, but I was there.
Well, there's 2 different rounds of it.
for anyone else on the council be interested in sitting on that committee? All right, very well.
Oh, wait, those 2, yeah, no, I'm good. If they're good with it, I'm good.
All right, so we have Council Donahue, Council Margolski, that are willing to serve on the Police and Labor Negotiating Committee. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, very well. Looks very good. Thank you all very much for volunteering, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's move on to the adoption of minutes. Nicole, if you will, please, number 6.
Adoption, excuse me, adoption of the regular meeting and budget workshop minutes held on December 5th, 2023.
Looking for a motion from the council, please.
Move we accept the minutes of the budget, the regular meeting and the budget workshop on December 5th, 2023.
Sorry, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments, council? Any noted corrections? Very well, here and now, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of adopting the regular meeting and budget workshop minutes held on December 5th, 2023, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. We have adopted the regular meeting and budget workshop held on December 5th, 2023. So let's move on to number 7, presentations, congratulations, and introductions. Councilor Frost is not able to be here this evening. Hopefully, we can do it in the near future when he is able to attend. Chief, I will yield the floor to you if you want to take care of the next 2 items, please.
Thank you. I'll keep this quick because I know there's a lot on the agenda, so I want to get everybody through this. So about a year ago, I came up here and gave a speech when I was accepted as the police chief, and one of the things I had mentioned to you and to everybody, do that were listening, that this was something that I needed my team to do. I couldn't do it alone. I definitely needed support from my team. And I do have a couple team members that I do want to recognize for this last year of supporting the mission and doing what we can to make kids feel great again. So Erica, Amy, can you guys step up here, please? So what this is the in recognition of the excellence in community policing. This is something that we haven't had before. But again, this is something what we've done, able to accomplish last year was something that's really never happened here before either. So we have this new award. This is for Amy. And this is for Erica. And just so you know, our Facebook presence and all the stuff we're doing is because of these two right here. I'll say something to them in this little chat group and they'll make it sound pretty on the web for me. So what you guys see is stuff that they're doing all the time. And just so you know, just because they're out doing all these other things doesn't mean they've stopped doing their police duties, their other administrative duties. In fact, Erica, I want to say 4 search warrants last year she wrote. She's already working on actually wrote another one already for this year. So she's still active and out doing those things, very, very busy and, we're out solving our crimes and, trying to keep everybody safe. So I do want to thank you too publicly, for, seeing the mission and supporting it. Appreciate it.
Picture of the old one. We do. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief. So before we move into public hearings aspect of the meeting, I just want to address something very quickly. I know we've talked about changes in the town. We've talked the talk. You see the layout we have here. This is called walking the walk. So one change that we have that Jacob will speak to when it comes around to his section is the camera system, the sound system that we have here. So what we have here, everyone see the podium in the middle. So if anyone is willing to speak or they have something they want to bring up, I would ask them to step up to the podium. That way we can have it on camera so that we have it documented. It'll be a bit more professional, much more formal on how we do things. So when I do ask anyone who wishes to speak, I would ask that you come up to the podium and address the council that way. So thank you very much for your patience with that. So let's move on to public hearings. Nicole, if you would, ordinance 24-01.
Ordinance adopting the town general fund budget for the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
For a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we open ordinance 2401. Public discussion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, council. Jacob, would you want to provide some highlights to these before we get into the discussions, or you why don't you go ahead then, please?
Yeah, as we all know, the council started reviewing this budget in early November and kind of the Spark Notes version of some of the highlights of what we went through. This budget provides a 3% cost of living adjustment for all of our regular employees. It creates a new full-time finance director position for the main office that will assist with bookkeeping and human resources and other various things. It creates a new full-time grant administrator position. It maintains the full-time code enforcement officer position, which we're certainly working to fill as soon as possible. Maintains a school resource officer position with MS 8053 reimbursing the town for that cost. It creates a part-time mechanic position in our public works department to reduce vehicle maintenance costs. It subcontracts cemetery maintenance to reduce the burden on our staff. It appropriates $250,000 for capital improvements, $100,000 of which for paving, and also includes the purchase of a new police truck, planning for the purchase of a new public works dump truck, and various library and parks and rec projects and repairs. And it also adds an additional staff person to our water and sewer department. Minimal mill rate impact was identified as a priority with this budget. And so this proposed budget accomplishes these items that I have listed, all the while not increasing the town's portion of the mill rate.
All right, thank you very much, Jacob. I certainly want to reiterate the efforts that the council went through, and Jacob, you also that we were able to work some numbers fairly quickly, and the input of the councils here is we're very proud that we're able to do all that with no increase. So, with that being said, I will open ordinance 24-01 to public input. Anyone in the audience wishes to speak or comment on ordinance 24-01? All right, very well. I will close to public input. Council, any questions or comments? Ordinance 24-01.
I have one question. Jacob, in your comments, you said that the town is being reimbursed from the school for the cost of the resource officer. When we had that prior, it was for 10 months of the year and it didn't include the vacation time. Is it the full cost of the officer? Are they doing programming during the summer, or is it that gap time that the town is?
Yes, they're not paying for the full, it's about the same.
Full time,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I apologize.
No, I
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
sure
about
where it fell.
65,000, I think is.
Yeah.
what it was, so. That also includes, say, like, vehicle maintenance and cell phone and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Council? So I believe we need to close public input and open for a vote. I have motion from council to close.
Make a motion that we close for public input.
Second.
Moving to second, thank you, council, and motion to open for action on ordinance 24-01, please.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2401.
Moving to second, thank you, gentlemen. Final questions or comments? Very well, here are none. I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of ordinance 24-01, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Ordinance 24-01 passes. Thank you all. Let's move on to ordinance 24-02, if you would please, Nicole.
Ordinance adopting the capital improvement budget for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024.
I'll look for a motion to council, please.
Make a motion that we open ordinance 2402 for public comment.
Second.
Moving second, thank you, council. So with that, I will ask anyone in the audience who wishes to speak or comment on ordinance 24-02. Very well, I will close public input. Council, questions or comments on ordinance 24-02?
I have a general question.
Sure.
In past years, when we've passed budgets, we've actually stated in the ordinance, like where the dollars are coming from, whether they're tax dollars appropriated from reserve funding or capital improvements and those types of things.
Is that necessary on these ordinances, the way it's shown here? I mean, that information is available.
This is, we're approving the amounts needed for taxation. It's not needed.
And then we would approve reserve funding at the time that we can spend those.
All right. Anything else, Heather? Council, anything else? Very well, here are none. I will look for a motion to close for public input and move to vote, please.
Make a motion that we close ordinance 2402 for public input and open for approval.
We can do that.
Second.
Did you second?
I did.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have closed to discussion on ordinance 2402. We have opened for vote. Any final questions or comments from the council? Very well, here and none. I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of ordinance 24-02, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Ordinance 24-02 passes. So Nicole, if you would, please, let's move on to ordinance 24-03.
Ordinance adopting the sewer budget for the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Make a motion that we open ordinance 2403 for public comment.
Second.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Audience, anyone in the audience wishes to speak, comment on ordinance 24-03? You're getting out of it easy.
Did we read the highlights of what the changes were?
Yeah. That's all I was thinking. From the audience? Very well, I will close public input. Council. Questions or comments on ordinance 2403? Very well, hearing none, I will ask for a motion to close for input and move to vote, please.
Make a motion that we close ordinance 2403 to public comment and move to vote.
Second. Move to second. Thank you, gentlemen. Final questions or comments on this, council? Very well, hearing none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of ordinance 24-03, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Ordinance 24-03 passes. Thank you. Nicole, let's move on to ordinance 24-04, please.
Ordinance adopting the water budget for the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Make a motion that we open ordinance 2404 for public comment.
Second.
Move in second. Thank you, council. Anyone in the audience wishes to speak or comment on ordinance 24-04? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on ordinance 24-04? Very well, I will look for a motion to close for input and move to vote, please.
Make a motion that we close ordinance 2404 to public input and move to vote.
Second.
Move in a second. Thank you. Final questions, comments, council on ordinance 2404? Very well. Hearing none, I sense we are ready to vote. Ordinance 24-04. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Ordinance 24-04 passes. So let's move on to number 9 reports, and I will send it over to Mr. Grand for the town manager's report, please.
Thank you. Good evening, council. I want to thank and recognize our public works, fire and police departments for their efforts during last month's windstorm. There was some long hours put in by our staff, and with all things considered, they did a great job dealing with a very difficult situation. With that being said, we held a storm debrief meeting last week to discuss what went well, what didn't go well, and what we could learn from it. And as a result of that meeting, we're working to implement solutions that will improve the services that we offer, specifically during extended periods of power outages. And along those lines, I'm in discussions with the IT provider who currently handles our police department's IT to potentially take over all of the town, because I'm quite unimpressed with our current provider. Tonight is a trial run for our potential new live streaming platforms. At this moment, we are live streaming through Zoom to Facebook, to YouTube, and we're supposed to be live streaming to Facebook, but given that the Wi-Fi is down in this area, I was unsuccessful in doing that. But my hopes with this is that it will provide greater accessibility to watch town meetings for our residents. And I have spent the last couple of days downloading previously recorded meetings and uploading them to our YouTube channel. This, as we have discussed in past, is in hopes of moving away from town hall streams. And if we're able to come up with, if this goes well, we'll be looking at a cost savings of nearly $3,000 per year. Our code enforcement officer and I had a nice tour of the new A. Dewey Pile Terminal in the industrial park. We are looking forward to holding a ribbon cutting ceremony sometime in the spring once construction is complete. The Taylor Road has once again raised its ugly head. As many of you know, the town and several of the abutting property owners were involved in a lawsuit over the Taylor Road several years ago. The road was discontinued by the town in March of 1966, but the town retains a public easement over at least a portion of the road. The landowner has placed a gate at the front of the Taylor Road, essentially eliminating public use. Our attorney is aware of this, and we are working on a solution of how to best address this matter. And finally, there's a planning board meeting this Monday night at 7:00 p.m. to discuss a proposal to turn the building at 203 North Main Street into a pub-style restaurant. This is in the initial stages, and no formal plans have been submitted.
That's all I have.
All right, Jacob, thank you very much. So let's move on through and past number 10, old business, as there are none to discuss this evening. So let's move on to 11, new business. Excuse me. Nicole, if you would please, resolution 24-01.
Resolution appointing the town manager as official representative, one counselor as official representative, and one town counselor as alternate representative to the General Assembly for the Kennebec Valley Council of Governments.
Move for a motion to council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2401.
Second.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Any questions or comments from anyone in the audience on resolution 24-01? Very well, I will close public input. Questions or comments, council? I believe historically, and I believe it has been the mayor and the deputy mayor that have been the council and the backup, and I would certainly be willing to do so. If the deputy mayor would be willing to do so.
As a backup, yeah, sure.
Yep. Back up the backup.
I can do that. Don't be sick.
I did that to Pete once. He still hates me for it. Any questions or comments on this, council? So we're satisfied, set myself and Jason as the representative and the backup. Very well. Hearing no other comments, I since we read the vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-01 with Michael Chinquetta as the official rep, as one counselor, as the alternate representative, and Councilor Hall, Deputy Mayor Hall as the backup. Please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-01 passes as noted. Let's move on to resolution 24-02, please, Nicole.
Resolution appointing the town manager as official representative and one town councilor as alternate representative to the General Assembly for the Kennebec Regional Development Authority.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2402.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the audience? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, questions or comments on this? Once again, I would certainly volunteer my name unless there's another council that's willing to do so. Awfully quiet. All right, no further discussion? All right, very well. Hearing none, I sense ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-02 and Michael Chinquette as the alternate representative to the General Assembly for the Kennebec Regional Development Authority, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-02 passes as noted. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-03, please.
Resolution appointing the town manager as official representative and one town councilor as alternate representative to the Maine Services Center Coalition.
Look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2403.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Before I go to audience, Jacob, could you describe what the Maine Services Center Coalition is?
Nope. I'm not really sure. It's Catherine probably could.
Catherine, would you be willing to explain what the Maine Services Center Coalition is, please?
Basically, this is a group of towns that get together with the Maine Municipal Association and work on legislation and items that will help those communities that are service centers because they have more responsibilities, more people come into them, they provide more jobs. So that means they have more costs. So some years there's a lot of activity, other years there isn't.
How has it been recently? It's your normal year for activity.
It's been very quiet,
Okay,
extremely quiet. There were a number of years when, as the governors change, there's different amounts of money that are available. And so some years they have a lot of activity, other years they don't.
all right. Thank you very much.
You're
Catherine.
welcome, thank you.
So with that, I'll send to the audience, anyone in the audience wishes to comment or speak on resolution 24-03. Very well, I'll close public input. Council, questions or comments on resolution 24-03? The council be willing to step up on that? If not, I can certainly put my name in on that. You got it. This is.
You're doing great, Mike.
It's a whole feng shui thing, isn't it? Yeah. All right, I will certainly put my name in on that, if there's no arguments, and I don't believe there are going to be. So here and none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-03 with Michael Chinkat as the town council's alternate representative to the Main Services Center Coalition, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-03 passes as noted. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-04, please.
Excuse me. Resolution authorizing the treasurer to disperse money on the authority of an expense warrant signed by a majority of the town council and upon recommendation of the finance committee.
I'll look for a motion by the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2404.
Moving second. Any questions or comments from the audience? Very well, I will close public input. Council, any questions or comments on this?
I have a question.
Sure.
Signed by a majority of the town council and upon recommendation of the finance committee. How is that recommendation delivered? Is it a majority of the finance committee or?
That's how you've done it in the past. You have to have a majority of the finance committee to sign off on it.
So 2 out of 3? Yes, okay, thank you.
That ain't bad.
Nope.
Further questions, comments, council? Very well, here and none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-04, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-04 passes. Nicole, if you would, please move on to resolution 24-05.
Resolution authorizing the town manager to hire independent reviews and execute all paperwork for airport grants for the 2024 year.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2405. Sorry.
Move to second. Thank you, council. I'll move to the audience. Anyone in the audience wishes to speak or comment on resolution 24-05? Very well, I will close public input. Council, questions or comments on resolution 24-05?
I have a question.
Certainly.
Is it unusual to hire an independent review and execute paperwork for airport grants?
I don't think so. This is more, it's an as-needed item, that you folks approve this every year. And from my understanding, it's only utilized when you have certain projects that you need a second opinion on to make sure that the work and the cost that they are doing is in line with where it should be. Am I explaining that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All set. Done. Anything else, council?
We had some large projects in recent years over at the airport. Are there any items that we're looking to have reviewed this year based on those projects?
Captain, if you would, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Catherine Ruth. We'll have a number of years that the town will need to be paying off the other town that we transferred money from through the community capital improvement process that the state of Maine has. So it's doubtful we will have any construction projects or items that would come up, but you never know. And so it's good to have this item. Sometimes the Maine DOT has done the independent review of the projects. It's to make sure that whatever the town is going to be charged by a contractor is fair and reasonable. So it's a second opinion, basically, of an engineer.
So is this before we start a project to make sure the quotes that we're getting are
Correct.
in line?
Yes.
And does it cost us to do that?
if the state is doing it, or only if we hire a private
If
company?
the state is doing it, there is no cost. So we did have to hire independent reviewers for land purchases, but usually it's for construction projects. We should not be having any construction projects, but you never know what might come up. So it's just something, as Jacob said, we put on the agenda each year. Sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Anything else, council? You all set with that, Heather?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
Very
wasn't
good.
sure if it was generated from, like, all the projects that we just said done.
right, yeah, it's been a busy year, that looks like it's gonna be another busy year.
Well, I know there's like this threshold where if you get a certain amount of federal grants, there's different types
Yeah.
of reviews that you have to done, so I wasn't sure if this is.
So any other questions, comments? Council? Very well, hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-05, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-05 passes. Nicole, let's move on to order 24-04, please.
Order amending the town of Pittsfield fee schedule by adding a category for airport hangar lease payment.
For a motion to council, please.
Make a motion that we amend. That we adopt order 2404.
Yeah, there you go. Second. All right. Okay. I know, it's totally different word. You'll get that. Isn't that, there's a different one coming up. All right, so we have a motion and a second, to, move on order 24-04. Anyone in the audience has any questions or comments or wish to speak on order 24-04? If you would please identify, we know who you are, but for the record, please.
My name is Caleb Curtis. I live on Harrison Street in Pittsfield, and I'm the, I guess, with my title that I like to call myself anyways, is the operations manager down at the airport. The town manager is technically the airport manager, obviously, but I take care of the day-to-day stuff down there. And I don't, Jacob, is this approving the amount that I put in for? Okay. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a background, the fee that we charge for the hangars that we just had built down there is all the money is going to go to the town of Pittsfield, and all the money, according to the FAA, because we use FAA money, has to be used at the airport, right? So just to kind of give you a little bit of an understanding of that. And then the FAA also says that the fees that we charge have to be in line with what is in the area, right? Like we can't be way above, or we can't be way below, obviously. Because it has to be appropriate, because we use federal money to do the project. So what I did was I called around to other airports and figured out what they're charging for hangar rents. And of course, this is the first hangar at the town of Pittsfield that's going to be owned by the town. So this is a new fee schedule that we're setting up. And basically where the attitude that I have, and that I talked to Kathy and I talked to Jacob about too, was we wanted to be a little bit above kind of where everybody else was. Because my general feeling is that hangar rents in aviation wise have always been a little bit on the low side for what they should be. And obviously, the further south you go, the more they go up. It's just kind of the way that it is. I found that the hangars that are comparable to the ones that we just had built, Old Town is probably the most comparable size airport to what we are, and offers a lot of the same services. And their hangar rent was $325 a month for that same size hangar. And I kind of figured we'd be a little bit more, so I put it at $350. And you know, I've talked to a lot of people in like aviation, obviously, but spent a lot of time trying to decide who was going to go in there and trying to sense what they would feel about paying that. And everybody was like, well, it's more than what Old Town is, but you know, this is a lot closer for what they wanted, or they live in the community, or you know, so I feel like it's a very fair amount for the hangar. So I could take questions.
Do you think that would jeopardize any future business or tenants? That $25 extra?
I
It's
don't.
not a whole lot. but
No, it's
still.
not, you know. Yeah. You know, for what these buildings are, I think it's a great deal. And I'm anticipating slowly over the years, I mean, I'm not saying that next year we want to dump it up another $50 a month, but I do think it's important to redo them every year, and I'll try to be on top of that, and I want. My view is not to have Pittsfield be the most expensive place to be, because that's not what I'm trying to be, but I'm trying to be. You know, I mean, this building was a lot of money, and. You know, and I want the town to have the money to be able to maintain it, because it's gonna cost money, I mean, hopefully it shouldn't cost too much money, it's a steel building. It's pretty straightforward, but certainly if there is something that needs to happen to it, we need to have enough income coming in. And we wanna use the income for projects like, crack ceiling and just stuff like that, but to answer your question, we don't have any major projects coming up for. Quite a while, probably the next one will be just a runway reconstruction, just because the hot top's getting older, but that's gonna be years down the road.
Right, while we have you here, council, any questions, for Caleb?
Do you have all the spots committed already?
Yes, yeah, I do,
There's no
and
trouble filling them, so.
no, I am a little bit kind of, you know, everybody wanted to be in before now, obviously, but it's just the way life goes, right? I mean, that's one thing I've gotten used to, is being patient, and I think most people everybody understands that things are just difficult with these large projects. But it'll be, you know how it goes, like when you call people up and say, all right, you know, you can go in and sign the lease, you know, it'll be interesting to see if all 6 of them race right in there and do it. But I guarantee that if one of them doesn't do it, I'll have somebody right in there that will take it immediately. In fact, I've already gotten a call from people from other airports that just heard about it through the grapevine. And they would like to have one of the spots, but see what happens. So.
The question, so there are 6 spots?
Yep, there are 6 spots, and there are 2 like smaller storage areas. Yes.
And then do you have any other examples of similar size airports and what they charge per month? Anything in addition to the Old Town
The
325?
Yep, I couldn't find any other airports that had hangars that were our size. Our hangars are taller. And so we found 250 and 300, but they were all they didn't have the same height. The hangars that we designed were big enough to put float planes in that were on like trailers or like on wheels, just because.
That's pretty unique.
Yeah, it is, yep, and Old Town has that, and they're that higher rate because of that, so, yeah. And not everybody going in there is gonna utilize that, but we thought going forward for the future, that would be a, you know, a really good benefit to the town, so.
Anything else, council, while we have Mr. Curtis up here? Caleb, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the input.
Yep.
So is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak or comment on order 24-04? Very well, hearing none, I will close to public input. Council, any additional questions or comments? Very well, hearing none, I will look for a vote. All those in favor of order 24-04, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Order 24-04 passes. Thank you for the input, Caleb. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-06, please.
Resolution authorizing the town manager to sign an agreement with the town of Quincy for work needed on the Johnson Flat Road.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2406.
Second. Move to second. Thank you very much. We'll go to the audience. Donnie, any highlights you want to add, or you just want to field questions that may come up?
I'll just pose some questions.
Very well. Anyone in the audience wishes to speak or comment on resolution 24-06? Very well. I will close to public input. Council, any questions or comments on this? Something we had discussed before. Cart before the horse, but still horse caught up to the car. All right, very well. Hearing none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-06, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-06 passes. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-07, please.
Resolution approving a renewal application for an on-premise liquor license for Upland Farm Brewery.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2407.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, council. Questions or comments from anyone in the audience, please? Housekeeping item. Very well, I will close public input. Council, any questions or comments on this? Very well, hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-07, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-07 passes. Nicole, if you would please, the resolution 24-08.
Resolution appointing Amy Wilson to the MSAD 53 Board of Directors as an interim director.
Look for a motion to council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2408.
Okay. Moving to second. Thank you, council. Anyone in the audience wish to speak or comment on resolution 24-08? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-08?
This is just to fill the position until the general election.
Right. What's that? Anything else, council? Very well, here and none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-08, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-08 passes. Nicole, resolution 24-09, please.
Resolution appointing Eric Glencross to the recycling committee.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2409.
Sir. Moved and seconded. Thank you, council. I'll send to the audience, anyone in the audience wish to speak or comment on resolution 24-09. Very well, I'll close public input. Any questions or comments from the council?
Who's currently on the recycling committee? Does anybody know?
Donnie and
Catherine, yeah, Tim Nichols just stepped out. That's it.
Didn't just step down?
Yeah.
Really? It's almost not the recycling committee without him.
Tell them about it.
We'll get him back.
Yeah, good luck there. I'll get past that point. I'm surprised he retired from the council, honestly. Anything else, council? Very well, here and none, I sense we are ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-09, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-09 passes. Nicole, resolution 24-10, please.
Resolution appointing Eric Glencross to the planning board.
I'll look for a motion to the council, please.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2410.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, council. Any questions or comments from the audience wishing to speak on resolution 24-10? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-10?
Can you explain what the planning board is, what the responsibilities are?
well, they oversee all of our land use. They approve various zoning changes and, they review new construction going on in town, major constructions going on in town. It's pretty,
Who else is on the board?
there are 6 other members. I don't know off the top of my head. Tom Riley, Mark LaGrosse.
Dave Quinn on there?
No,
No, if he was on there before.
Yeah, can't remember everybody. I know we put a couple like alternates on there with
reasonable people, yeah. Carol Vinci might be his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Just
from
did that
last
last
year.
year.
So there are 6 active members now.
Yes.
I mean. My concern is. Candidates not necessarily qualified to be on the planning board.
Right.
I think the planning board is way too important. We have way too many things that are coming up that will require a lot of thought and insight and I just don't necessarily think this candidate is qualified for that position based on his application and
Yeah.
just on the application that was submitted, so that's my 2 cents, I guess.
Anything else, council? Very well, hearing none, I sense ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-10, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Nay. Nays have it. Resolution 24-10 does not pass. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-11, please.
Resolution awarding the line trimming bid to Brady and Son Tree Service in the amount of $27,000.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 24-11. Sir.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments from the audience? Anyone wish to speak or comment? Resolution 24-11. Very well, I'll close the public input. Council, questions or comments on resolution 24-11? Jacob, is this for the line from the recycle station down to the pump house?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll okay.
I think
Now that, if the council's not aware of the audience, that line is owned by the town of Pittsfield. So it's our power line. So we are responsible for the maintenance of it. This is what this is covering. Yes.
I can just give a quick background on it. I'm Travis Jones with all of our associates for the water and wastewater department. So the goal here is to get the power line trimmed back and get it into the condition that CMP will accept the ownership of that line. Obviously, with windstorms like we've been experiencing, if we can move to make this a CMP owned asset, that's much better for the town. In order for CMP to even consider taking it over, it needs to be within spec of what they're willing to take over. So we sent this out as stated to 7 different contractors. We personally called them. We got 2 bids back. Given just those 2 bids, I'm pretty happy with what we got back from Ring and Son. And would certainly recommend that we move forward with getting this done and then contacting CMP to come and make this theirs.
So 2 questions for you, if I may. So CMP has been approached.
CMP has been approached about this and before they would even entertain it, it needed to be within specs and up to snuff for them to look at it.
So would they consider it if and when it is up to specs?
They would certainly consider it when it is up to spec.
Do we know the process? I mean, that would be, they would buy it out, or how would that work? I'm not sure. This is a curious situation.
Certainly, it would be a new situation for myself. We're very fortunate that one of our operators that works for Oliver used to work for Hydro or whatever iteration that they are now. So he's very familiar with the process and going through what it entails. So not to say we have an inside man, but we're pretty fortunate.
You kind of do.
Yeah.
So you mean the Bangor 100%?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, very well.
so doing this should put us, we should be good after this.
Doing this is not going to hurt us in doing it, because at the very least. CMP comes back and says, no, we don't want to take this over, but that doesn't change the fact that we have limbs that are literally laying on these lines as it is right now. So regardless of whether CMP takes this over or not, this is a town-owned asset and really needs to be trimmed back regardless. Best case scenario, we approach CMP then takes it over and, you know, is sort of able to take that off of our plate. But regardless, either way, this needs to be done. But
I don't normally, there's a fee to convey a line back to the utility. So I think, I mean, I'm totally in favor with keeping this line regardless, but we ought to put a plan together. Either for this year, next year, whatever it is, to find out, just do some, we need some homework, I guess, to make sure we understand how much it's gonna cost, because I don't think it's gonna be like, hey, we'll take that 1,000 feet of line from it, no problem. I think it's gonna be. Typically, there's money involved, so I think we should do a little research on that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a totally different conversation when it comes along, because, you know, I've
I agree
contracted
with
for
that.
years, this is, I haven't been across this, so this is new.
yeah,
Yeah,
and this
you mentioned-
was really the first step to get it done, and regardless, to be honest with you, it needed to be done
Yeah,
either way.
but I think that's a great goal, to get it back to the utility is a great goal, I think that's what we should definitely shoot to.
Yep.
Next time they'll maintain it.
Given where it goes and the woods that are around it and the importance of it, I think we've been fortunate, there hasn't been a major issue.
Yeah.
So, of which I'm aware. Yeah. Council, any other questions or comments? Thank you very much, appreciate it.
No problem.
Excellent information. So nothing else, council, we're all set? All right, very well, since we are ready to vote, all those in favor of resolution 24-11, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, 24-11 passes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
would it be possible to act on agenda item for this list X? I told Travis we could try to do these together. He's got a ways to travel home.
resolution 24-23.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we can certainly do that. So we move on to the next page, per request, let's move on to resolution 24-23. Nicole, if you would, please.
Resolution awarding the wastewater treatment plant roof replacement bid to Hannon Brothers Company in the amount of $32,952.
Look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 24-23.
Sorry. Moved and seconded. Would you like to speak on it? You might answer some questions that people have, if you would, please.
Essentially, this is the roof out at the lagoon building that we have out there. It's in poor condition. We are looking to have that replaced. We looked and put in the bid to have that done with a metal roof. They'll also be flashing all of the eaves and whatnot and replacing the boards that are rotted on there and flashing those as well. So any questions that I can answer? Obviously, going with the metal roof is something that we're really happy with the longevity of it and the ability to shed snow.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, end of last year. Yeah.
Curious, do you have experience with Hannon Brothers?
I have experience with and not personally on other projects, but obviously with what they've done in some other communities, and they come highly recommended.
Okay, that's, yeah, thank you.
They know what they're doing.
We're good,
Yep.
thanks.
Does the roof leak now? I'm just wondering, on the last line, is any wood roof deck that may require replacement will be on time and material basis? I'm just wondering, what is our exposure? Like, is this thing like a ring force inside it, or is it like pretty tight? I agree with replacing, I'm trying to figure out what's the catch, you know what I mean?
It's not in great condition. I know that we currently use half of the building for our lab work that we're required to do. And there is some staining on the ceiling there. I'm not able to see up into the rafters, but just based on what the shingles look like, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I've climbed up into the attic, but it's not in great condition. Donnie, do you have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'll just add that we were actually gonna take on those jobs of works. I've been done my roofs and stuff, and I did some scoping out, and then when I saw the scope, I was like, whoa, maybe I spoke before too soon, I can't, it was.
So there may be, I'm sorry.
There is some, there's 4 leaks in that, and if we can get that sooner than later, it's not gonna cause too much internal damage between the roof and the ceiling. But definitely all the soffits need to be replaced. I think that was part of the price, metal and then, I think that's a good price. I will tell you, they did decent, so.
So would there be a possibility of unseen damage that will be
I
uncovered? along with
looked in
it?
that space, it doesn't look like we've got mold or anything growing in there or anything, and it doesn't look like there's much water damage yet. But we knew that we were springing a few little leaks last fall, so it needs to be taken care of before it does cost more.
Yeah, especially out of sight, out of mind where it is, you're not gonna see it for a while unless you make an appointment down there to see that specifically.
Yeah, and they're not in there often. I mean, they go in there every once in a while, they're not in there like all day long, so unless it was actually having precipitation, they probably wouldn't necessarily see it unless they were there at that time.
I would also just add that with the windstorms and whatnot that we've seen under normal conditions, maybe just drizzling or whatnot, the water is able to run off, but. You know, when it's blowing 60 sideways and raining at, you know, an inch an hour. Then, you know, that probably makes a difference as well.
All right, well, we have here anything else, council? I will go to the audience when we're all set. Go ahead.
Just gonna ask, you said you used half of that building for the lab testing and such.
Correct.
What's the other?
Storage.
Just storage.
Yeah, we stored the cemetery truck down there in the past. They've stored some other vehicles that we've had in the past, plows for their trucks, for their half-ton pickups, 3/4-ton pickups. So there is a storage bay in that building itself. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience have any questions or comments on resolution 24-23? I'll close public input. Council, anything else?
We have a schedule of rates from, so like they're doing this time and material, do we know what their rates are? I mean, for their added repairs. I don't think I see the package, but.
This hard money or is this?
This would, I mean, the price that they're giving us, is the assumed price that it would cost for the work to be done.
Lump sum, then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying any repairs or seeing them beyond that, I'm wondering.
Right.
Yeah, retractors, but it's not gonna sway my vote either way. Probably matter.
Right, kind of what I was, trying to understand with, identified damage, anything else that would come out, it seems like we've got eyeballs on, everything needed.
That's right.
Would you, you all set with your, question? Satisfied? Yes. Go ahead, Fred.
I guess I just, a little ignorant on this, I guess, what's the strategic need for this building? If we're only using it very infrequently, is there another building that can serve part of this purpose versus?
So it definitely doesn't, I mean, it gets used infrequently as probably the amount of time per day. But it's required that we have something that's right there so we can do our DEP mandated tests on site. So we take wastewater samples literally from the lagoon. That building is right there. We have to have a place that has that equipment stored inside of that. We bring those samples in and sample them and take those readings right inside of that. We also house we have sampling equipment that's in there. And frankly, the building also covers the now defunct contact tank that was utilized when we were required to treat with chlorine. If that ever did come back around, that would be something that we would already have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well said. Go ahead, Heather.
It's hard to tell by the photos. Does this build, and you might have covered this while I was out, I'm sorry, does this building need additional cosmetic work or functionality work? I think Don, you had said before that when we first talked about this, that there was like mold on the walls and some stuff inside that would also need to be cleaned up.
Taking care of
That's
that.
all done, okay.
And some sheetrock. Public works guys did some replacement,
Okay.
some scrubbing of the concrete floor. Lead paint, times of lead paint, so yeah, we've done some work. It's mandated by the UPD, they leave the floors, obviously, all that stuff, and it's a nice building. I mean, it's solid, it was built very well.
Okay,
I don't know when that, I would assume that's the original roof, 1976, so. Yeah.
it is hard to tell from the picture as to whether it also needs painting, if it's been painted since then, or.
Could it use a fresh coat of paint? Certainly, that is something that we felt that could probably be accomplished by staff.
Okay, that's what I
And
was wondering
where,
if
you
there
know,
was-
we, at first, we looked at keeping the replacement of the roof in-house. When it became deemed a little bit over our capabilities, then we decided to move outside, but if we're gonna put a fresh coat of paint on it, we can handle a brush.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like other stuff planned within the budget this year for that.
What's that, Heather?
Yep.
All right, council, anything else? Very well, here and none, I sense ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-23, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-23 passes. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, council.
Safe travels back.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Nicole, let's move back to M, resolution 24-12, please.
Resolution authorizing the county manager to execute leases for the bays in the town hangar at the Pittsfield Municipal Airport upon recommendation of the airport manager.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2412.
Second.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments from anyone in the audience on resolution 24-12?
I can just answer questions, I guess, if people have questions.
Okay, very well. Council, I'll close to public input. Council, any questions or comments on this? Very well, hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-12, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-12 passes. Thanks for being on the ready. Nicole, let's go to resolution 24-13, please.
Resolution authorizing the town manager to apply to the Federal Aviation Administration for an amendment to number 3-23-0036. -020-2021 airport restrict taxiway.
Look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2413.
Second.
Move to second. Thank you, council. So what I'd like to do, we have a number here, a couple here that are in your realm of control there. So if you wouldn't mind keeping yourself available for responses,
Yeah.
is there anything that you'd like to read this digest version bullet point?
Well, the one thing that I will say is that tonight by phone, we have two from Hoyle Tanner. Bob and Nils, who are two of the folks that have been working quite a bit on these projects. So they weren't able to join in by Zoom because they found out they needed a commercial account or something, but they are on phone, so we can tap into them for questions to this. And of course, Catherine's.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, always Catherine.
Mr. Mayor, can we read all three of these resolutions and then vote? They seem like they all are a package deal here. Can we just vote on them all at once?
Certainly, we sure can do that. So Jason, if you want to rescind your motion for resolution 2413 and let's reapply to move on all three, please.
Rescind resolution 2413 and move that we resolve resolution 2413, 2414, and 2415.
with a single vote.
With a single vote.
Second, well,
After
after second,
reads it.
yeah,
Do
absolutely.
we have to make that in the form of waiving the rules to do that, or? We don't do it very often, so forget.
No, I don't know if it's waiving the rules. I know we've done it before and it's, motion has been to move on all, multiple at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, I'm missing something on that, Jacob, I think we're good with that. So we're gonna put the, cart before the horse again. Nicole, if you wouldn't mind reading 2414 and 2415 for the record, please.
Resolution authorizing the town manager to apply to the Federal Aviation Administration for an amendment to number 3-23-0036-021-2021 airport construct building, construct 6A hangar. And resolution 24-15, resolution authorizing the town manager Federal Aviation Administration for an amendment to number 3-23-006-024-2023 airport construct T hangar apron.
All right, thank you, Nicole. So, any questions or comments from the audience on resolution 2413, 2414, and 2415? We're acting on all three. Very well, I will close to public input. Council, any questions or comments on any of those three or all three? Very well, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 2413, 2414, and 2415, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 2413 through 2415, all pass. Thank you for the suggestion there, Heather. Thank you for the availability, Caleb. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-16, please.
Resolution authorizing that funding received from the airport hangar lease payments be placed in the airport reserve.
I look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2416.
Moved in second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments from the audience on resolution 2416? Very well, closed public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 2416? It's eerily quiet. It's fall up the end of last year, isn't it?
I'll just wait for you to do your best Grundy County auction impersonation.
Yeah, I'll work on it the next time, okay? I didn't assume I was gonna be here. So here and now, I sense ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 2416, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 2416 passes. Resolution 2417, please, Nicole.
Resolution authorizing the transfer of reserve funding from the airport improvement reserve.
I look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2417.
Second, moved to second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments from audience on resolution 2417? All right, I will close the public input. Council, questions or comments on resolution 2417? Very well, hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 2417, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 2417 passes. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-18, please.
Resolution authorizing the transfer of up to $200,000 from the Pittsfield Economic Expansion Corporation, PEEC, for the airport apron and taxiway project.
I look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2418.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments, audience, on resolution 2418? Very well, I'll close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 2418, please?
Yeah, do we have any idea, how much of the $200,000 is expected to be expended for this, and how is it going to be, paid back?
Would you mind explaining this?
Thank you, Catherine Ruth. On resolution 24-18, back when we planned out this project, as we did several other projects, we would have an authorization from our Economic Development Fund called Pittsfield Economic Expansion Corporation in order to cover while we're waiting for the grant amendments to come through. You need to close out your books at the end of the year when the project is done. And so we have bills to pay. And those bills would be paid while we're waiting for the funding to come through from the grant amendments. We also have in the grants, we're at 90% reimbursement from the federal government. So until the grants are closed out, that money does not come to the town, but we do need to pay the bills. So we're expecting approximately $176,000 would be needed. It might be best just to transfer the whole 200,000 because it makes it very clear, and then you put it back when it's done. The last time we did this was in 2018 for the cash flow for the airport, and these are large projects, so this is a good thing to do. It took 9 months for the amendment to go through. HTA thought that this would go through quicker because the federal government's very aware of this project and all of the challenges it's had, and they've been trying to help us with it, even though there's been a lot of confusion on what is a grant or not a grant on some of the monies that they had put in writing that they would give us. But they gave us other money, so if you look at the overall project, it's been going on from when Caleb first brought this to us as a project, over 10 years. And we've had other grants besides all the grants that we're working on now that were predecessor grants. So the town has gotten about $2.3 million in grant funding. So it's been a very good project, although a challenging one. So we're all going to be glad when it's done.
Challenging to say the least.
Yes, and thank you, Caleb, for all your help. So I'll be glad to close this out and then I can work on other grants.
Excellent. You all set, Doug?
Yep.
While we have you, Catherine, any other questions from the council? Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate your input on that. Nothing else, council? All right, here none, a sense ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-18, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-18 passes. Nicole, let's move on to resolution 24-19, please.
Resolution authorizing the town manager to execute the balancing change order number 1 for 3-23-0036-024-2023 for runway airfield flag crack seal and pavement markings.
Looking for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that will resolve resolution 24-19.
Second. Move to second. Thank you, council. Questions or comments, audience? Any specifics you need to provide? Self-explanatory?
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Now we'll close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-19?
I have a question. Is this the same, check that was issued in the warrant for this evening? And the amount for that is 20,000 more than the contract was? And how are we reconciling that? How are we paying for that extra $20,000? That's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's almost 20%.
Well, I mean, that's the idea behind this resolution is to address that and to address that. Catherine, can you shed any light on that?
Certainly. Catherine Ruth. When the bill came in, both Jacob and I were surprised because the amount that was approved was very clear. And what's in the resolution from the town council, that was the amount that was in the grant, and that's what HTA was going to administer. And then they decided, and it may be a lower level engineer that didn't realize the process, because they had monies left in their part of the budget that they're not going to charge the town on engineering. They went ahead and, without telling the town, did some more crack sealing. Now, the airport needs crack sealing for sure, but we should have been notified. And I believe when You did call, they just said, well, we spent more money. That wasn't acceptable, so we did have a talk with them, and we know we're getting to the end of their contract. And we'll be going out for, another engineer or an engineer in the future. So HTA guarantees in writing that they will not spend all of the funds that are in their part of the budget, the engineering part. So more was spent in crack sealing, so it will end up being fine without a grant amendment.
So the total project isn't gonna change in cost.
It will stay within the total project.
They're just gonna move it in from engineering into the crack.
Correct, and this is the avenue by which we'll do this, because the record currently has a certain amount for the contractor, and they went over their amount, so we didn't pay the bill until the warrant came out.
And did we get that in writing that they're gonna adjust their engineering costs?
It's in an email.
Okay.
I suspect with all the issues that have gone on, the fact that they did come forward and help us after the error happened on the hangar and have contributed money and brought a check to the town to assist with this, that there will not be any issues with this either.
This is the same company that
Yes.
cost us $350,000+ 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, correct. Another discussion, but I'm sure there'll be more than HTA that we could deal with, and for them to do that less.
It's a shame to hearing that they were on earlier. It's a shame that they can't answer for that.
Well, that's a different discussion.
No, I mean, why we're in this position yet again.
About this, I understand. The bottom line is that we're looking to get what needed to be done within the budget. There's no extra cost to us. How it came about is a separate discussion. Because they made assumptions, they made decisions without town input. None of us agree with that. Bottom line is, we're good. But that is definitely worth follow-up discussion, renegotiation if we do decide to work with them again.
The mayor is
Understood.
correct.
I'm not saying no, I'm just saying not now.
Understood. No, I understood. Just wanted it on the record.
Yep, I agree 100%.
I believe
Absolutely.
there was $69,000 worth of contractor issues earlier this year as well, so.
So any other questions on resolution 2419, council? Thank you very much, Catherine. Appreciate your input again. So hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 2419, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Resolution 2419 passes. Thank you, Catherine, for your help on that. Nicole, let's move swiftly to resolution 24-20, please.
Resolution appointing Al Capista as code enforcement officer and licensed plumbing inspector for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 24.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Any questions or comments from the audience? No input for resolution 2420, therefore I will close public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 2420?
It's a 3-year appointment?
Wish we could, if you're willing to do it.
Doesn't mean he has to accept.
He's not here.
Yeah, right. I guess we do anything we want. So to answer your question, yes.
Save 5 hours.
So related question, I know getting a full-time CEO is still a priority for us. Any movement on that from the last time we met, Jacob?
I have been in discussions with an individual who may be interested in the full-time position, but it hasn't gone any further than that.
Okay, excellent. Movement, we'll take that.
Yeah.
For a long time, we had none.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Yeah. Anything else on resolution 2420, council? Very well, hearing none, I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 2420, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 2420 passes. We're in the home stretch to go. Resolution 24-21, please.
Resolution appointing Nicole McLaughlin as Register of Voters for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024.
I'll look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2421.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Any questions or comments from the audience? On resolution 2421? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 2421? Will you escape? All right, hearing none, since we are ready to vote, all those in favor of resolution 2421, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, resolution 24-21 passes. Nicole, let's please wrap it up. We have 2422, please.
Resolution appointing Travis Gould as alternate licensed plumbing inspector and alternate building inspector for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024.
I will look for a motion from the council, please.
Make a motion that we resolve resolution 2422.
Move to second. Thank you, council. Any questions or comments from the audience? On resolution 2422? Very well, I will close the public input. Council, any questions or comments on resolution 24-22? I hope the rest of the year goes this sedate. We can actually go to our town meeting and be bored.
I'd like to see how purple you'll be if you hold your breath.
I'm not putting that out there as a challenge. Please don't take it that way at all. All right, no further questions on resolution 2422. I sense we're ready to vote. All those in favor of resolution 24-22, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Resolution 24-22 passes. So that takes care of the order of the business for the evening. So we move on to discussion items, and I will open to public comment. Anyone in the audience wishes to speak on pretty much any topic?
Sure. Yes. I would just like to, really thank the council and Kathy and Jacob for kind of jumping in and a little bit of a mess. I know it took a lot of patience on you guys' part, and it was, Kathy and I had a lot of, heated conversations with, the engineering, and, yeah, just every part of it was really a challenge, but I am really proud for, it's quite a building up there, and I would like to invite any of you to come up and take a tour of it. We just got given the keys not too long ago, so it's pretty exciting. And we hope to be putting people in there quite soon, so that will be exciting for people that are moving in. And we're excited to have a big revenue generating project down at the airport that will be going towards the cost of the airport and for, maintenance and stuff like that, so. Just want to say thank you.
If I may ask a quick question, have you thought about having a formal open house, having the news come by? Pittsfield's open for business kind of thing?
I'm so gun shy right now, I don't even. From all the troubles we've had with everything, I did threaten to go to the newspapers a couple times. I mean.
It's just a thought. Because what I'd like to do, everyone who knows me is, advertise Pittsfield, we're open for business, look what we're doing, look how we're doing, look.
Yeah.
Just show everybody, you see it on the news, other places where. They have a new pet shop open, whatever, this is significant for this town, certainly would be worth maybe at least a press release, something like that.
Jacob and Kathy and see what they.
Because this is significant for the town. I mean, it's the first hangar owned by the town, correct? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, the town owns other hangars, but this is the first hangar that'll be, they own other buildings. They don't own an aircraft hangar down there. So that's
right.
Yeah, so this is the first one owned by them. And it's a big investment in the future of the airport. There's no question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, a hangar like that's gonna attract, good tenants for a long time. Our other hangars were built by our grandfathers and kind of put hodgepodge together, and and they worked, but they weren't this class, that's for
I
sure.
think JR had his signature on a couple of those maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty
I'm
cool.
sure he probably built the first one to put his own plane in.
And yeah, there's been a lot of support from the community too, so it's been awesome. Yeah.
I agree with Mike, though. I mean, I think something like this, we kind of paid the tuition, so to speak, you know, with all the rough roads and the late nights and the hard conversations and the complaining by us about how it's not going great. That's the noise now. I mean, now it's done. So it's,
Yeah.
now it's time to celebrate it. Doesn't really matter how you got there. It's what we had. So
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see it. I mean, it's a lot more exciting than pet store, so I think we probably get some traction on it.
Yeah,
Do a ribbon cutting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So something to consider, if you wouldn't mind availing yourself and catching up with Jacob, and if you wanted input from the council, please feel free, because I think it's something to be celebrated.
Like to go down and check it out, I'm interested in seeing it.
Yeah, no, it would be-
That's kind of what I'm jonesing for too, yeah, let's get a tour of the place, yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, well, that part of it is kind of certain, anytime, I'm down there quite a bit, obviously, that's what I do, so. You know, and, yeah, that'd be great, I'd love to go and show it off to you guys, for sure.
You need support from the council to do something like that, please let us know.
Yeah.
I
Be more
do
than happy to.
think that, so the town is a member of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And, there's certainly an opportunity there. They offer ribbon cutting ceremonies and business after hours and those types of things. And it would be a really great way for us to utilize the benefits of our membership in a way that would incorporate, you know, publicizing, the accomplishments of the town, working with other businesses, the effect it'll have on other businesses as well. And it would certainly raise the profile of any event or ribbon cutting or anything like that by working with Mid-Maine Chamber on that as well. And plus, they have a lot of resources to put it out there.
Well, you certainly can't drive by the airport at night and then not see it. I don't know if you've driven by, but they've got it lit up pretty good.
Yeah, excellent.
So thank you.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it very much. Anyone else in the audience wish to speak? Pretty much any topic.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, please.
Don Chu, Public Works Director. I just wanted to highlight a few things over that last storm that we went through over that. I think I did 94, 98 hours out there. Just would like to commend the employees. The guys at the transfer station that kept it open, no power, freezing up there, so people could bring brush, and to Jerry, the guys out getting soaked, cutting trees. Vinny and his police officers. Like to commend them. I mean, we had a lot of disgruntled people that were mad because there was trees in the road and you couldn't go somewhere. And I'm saying this not just from the Pittsfield perspective, you send cops over the Detroit end, or my fire guys, my fire chief. On the other end, because we had disgruntled people running over cones and threatening people because they couldn't get through, they couldn't understand. I think the scope, and I will tell you that after looking at the brush pile and dealing with some of the CMP line supervisors at 2 a.m, you really don't have a scope of what really actually happened. Starting out at 11:30, 11:45, with the roof down here, 3/4 up in the air, and I thought it was gonna damage everybody's vehicles in the parking lot, to the trees coming down the side of the road. Learn a whole new gambit of what our power grid's made of. Didn't know there was a power grid that run down along the river, some high tension lines, and that's why Main Street stuff was out. If you thought the trees were bad here, oh my God. It looked like a tornado ripped through there. And the guys from North Carolina, the line crews, all the guys from out of state. Magnificent. We had flooding, obviously the river was high. The reason why they're having trouble with power is they couldn't reach the high tension lines. So there's a lot of things out there, logistical things that got done by a group of a lot of different people that were communicating very well. And I think they all need to be commended for the job that they did, because what I did was easy compared to what everybody else. So I just want to let us say that they really need to be commended. Thank you, Chief, for your guys, what they did. The one shelter up there in the Wausau, something that we don't have in every community, and some didn't have that opportunity, but Chief made it happen. So his guys were instrumental as well. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the audience? All right, I will close to the public and I will move to the council. I will start from my right, move to the left. Craig, the floor is yours.
Awesome.
like to be the first to welcome Natalia to the council. I think she's gonna be a phenomenal addition. With obviously knowing her, but also with the experience of her being on the selection committee for our town manager, got a chance to see what she's gonna actually bring to this group, and just excited to see it. I guess we're kind of glad Jason came around for another term. Really glad to see him here and finally get to sit in one of the big seats up front, so good stuff there. So big thanks to all the members of the staff for the town, presenting information to us that we could digest this year for our budget. You guys went through a lot of new process, new town manager. Another big round and ask of questions that we have, and you guys handled it very well. Appreciate it. And big shout out to Jacob coming in 3 months, being able to fill some pretty big shoes and take on this task and help kind of guide us through this process. So and lastly, big thanks to all of you on the council. We put some really good discussions out there this year, and I think put a budget in front of our citizens that again, no tax increase. And, you know, a whole page of accomplishments that were put together, and I think that's something to be proud of. So thank you to all of you. That's it. All right, Craig, thank you very much. Heather, with you, please.
I have a whole list here and a lot of them have been said, but I'm gonna repeat some of them because it's worthwhile.
This is your prerogative.
Well, yeah, let's do that. Welcome to Natalie. Look forward to working with you on the council, and welcome back. Jason never left, but welcome anyway. Congrats to Caleb on the kind of the foresight to putting together the project. And it's been a lot of work. Captain, I think you mentioned it was 10 years from start to nearly finish to get this project underway. And it takes a lot of like vision and persistence to kind of deal with all the FAA stuff. And so congratulations to both of you on working through that and getting this project to something that can be kind of like a really feather in the cap of the town for the field, for the facilities that we have for sure. And I think, like I said, a ribbon cutting, Jacob and I talked about it a few weeks ago, and I said, we need to have a ribbon cutting and celebrate this and like put it all over the news and stuff. So I look forward to having that put together, and like I said, working with the Mid-Maine Chamber on that would be a really great idea as far as being able to have more resources to put behind that. Thanks again to the chief of police and his leadership. It's been what, just over a year now that we threw you into the frying pan and made a lot of positive changes, especially within the staffing, and a whole new department under his leadership. And the amount of community engagement has been incredible and has not been unnoticed. Commendations to Donnie, everything he said about the town employees, everyone pulling together. This really seems to be the type of storm where everybody's looking out for the neighbors, aside from the people driving over the cones and being difficult, you know. For the most part, people were, I know I saw on Facebook, like, I have power, come have a cup of tea, you know, if you can get here, that type of stuff. So it was definitely a good response locally. And the power crews were amazing. I mean, we went to farmers market this Saturday after the storm. 5 o'clock in the morning, we leave the house, and all the way to Portland, all we saw was hundreds of utility trucks and all of their support vehicles going north on 95. So they were bringing fresh crews in even almost a week later after the storm. And I think I went and did deliveries like 3 days later after that. And I took a different road from Charleston over to Brooks. And I'm driving along, and then I got like 3 or 4 miles past the intersection, and I had to stop and turn around because there was a tree across the road. I had the box truck, I couldn't get up it. And this is like days and days after. So there's still a lot out there, and you can see it on the sides of the road. So the cleanup is going to continue for quite a while. The working with the Clinton Public Works to resolve the issue that's been ongoing with Johnson Flat Roads. Really creative solution, be able to have 2 towns working together, you know, with funding and time and staff and everything. And I think it was a really good approach to solving that problem.
And again, commendation to the staff and everyone working through the storm and trying to get all the things done that needed to be done.
All set?
Yep.
All right, Heather, thank you very much. Doc, you're next.
Yes, I first want to, again, welcome Natalia. I've worked with her over the summer, on, the, search committee, and, I think we were very successful. Welcome back, Jason, and, I appreciate you taking over the mantle of deputy mayor, for this year. I think you'll be great in the position. So, and I'm still there, if you can find me, and, need me. I want to give a shout out to Donnie and his crew. I saw them around for many hours, during the storm, after the storm, cleaning out, drains and, our little stream behind our house that was flooding underneath our barn, and Jerry and his crew kind of came and cleared out the culverts without a problem and really made a big difference. So a shout out to you and top-notch crew. The council did yeoman work with the departments on the budget this year, and I think that the proof is that we have a good balanced budget, as well as the fact that it went through so smoothly tonight. So I think that it's a good example that we have going forward, and I hope that it will continue. So please, thank you very much. And lastly, after the storm that we had, we didn't have we didn't lose power, but we lost internet for several days. It was actually good to get back to the old ways of doing things somewhat. But once we got the internet back, I kind of formulated some points in my head that I thought should be taken care of, and issues that I had regarding how we do things and how we can improve things. So I basically put those down in an email to Jacob, expecting that I would kind of get a response in the next. I put it out there, food for thought. Get a response in the next several days to a week. Well, 45 minutes later, I had an email back, and Jacob, kudos to you. You basically laid out a plan for us moving forward and moving ahead to improve things. So I think that it kind of made me feel that we had done a proper job in doing our due diligence to hire you. So haven't disappointed so far, and I don't expect it to in the future.
Give it a few more weeks.
Okay, will do.
I hope you didn't offer that as an option.
Never, Mike, never. And Mike, I've enjoyed working with you as deputy mayor, and certainly I'll be here to help out in any way that I can in the future.
It's been my honor, and I will always need a concierge.
That's it. So,
Thank you, Doc.
Yep.
Deputy Mayor Jason Hall.
Oh.
How's that sound?
Not great.
You'll get used to it.
I like it.
Yeah, I would just like to thank the council for putting a little bit of trust in me to be the deputy mayor. I'll probably be leaning on Howard a little bit here and there, but hopefully we can keep up the good work that he's done over the past year. The other folks kind of took a little wind out of the sails as far as what they've said, but I'll say it again. Obviously an incredible job by everybody involved in the storm. Yeah, it took a little while to get power back, but we got it back, and there weren't any kind of catastrophic injuries or anything like that. So amazing job. I like the fact that Jacob had a storm debrief to talk about, you know, our successes, but also where we can improve, we can always improve. So I think that's important, that's just a sign of, you know, his leadership and how we're now running the town, so that's exciting to hear. And I'd also like to thank Jacob for the budget season. I've been involved in now 3 of them, they've been painful. But this one was a lot less painful. You know, to come in blind basically at the beginning of budget season and produce what he produced for us was really exceptional. Just anytime we asked for anything, you know, we would get it. If we couldn't get it, there'd be a reason why we couldn't get it, but we pretty much got what we needed when we needed it. And it was just really easy and excellent to deal with. So looking forward to an entire year, 3 years, I guess. We have to deal with each other, but that's all right. We'll get through it. But yeah, no, I'm just excited for where we're headed and what we can do. So, thank you.
All set?
Yep.
Thank you, Jason. Eric, so you next, please.
I'm encouraged. I think we had a great year last year. I think we came up with a good budget. We have department heads congratulating other department heads for doing a good job with their crew. You have like a team feeling here that's great to feel. I think Jacob's doing an excellent job, but I think a department can have the idea of, it's not a compartment, right? And you guys are now bridging the gaps between them and congratulating each other. I think that's awesome. I mean, Donnie, I really respect that. Talking about other people doing a good job. That's great to recognize people outside of your control. I think the storm was kind of a good team building exercise. You know what I mean? Really, it's kind of awful to say that, but it really brings everything together. I think the guys running and girls running over the cones is definite. I'm a minority. But yeah, it does happen, but I think there's a lot more good than bad that came out of it. So, and I do appreciate the lessons learned at the end of an event like that, because there's always something to learn. And let's take it the next step, and I know you will, right? It's executing what you said you're gonna do and seeing it to the end. So that's all I got. Thank
All
you.
set?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Our new counselor, Natalie Hall.
No.
Natalia. And I told myself I would not do that. My. Wait, on me.
And I do need the floor for 2 more seconds, because I do want to
Yeah.
congratulate you, and I'm very excited about it.
Our new counselor, Natalia Hall,
Thank you.
2.0.
Yeah,
Please.
well, I'm excited to be here. First meeting, I think it went really well. I didn't know what to expect. I have to say I enjoyed it, so I look forward to more. And just want to say, Donnie, I really appreciated what you stood up and said. Thank you. It was really, really meaningful. And I just want you to know that it feels good as a person living in town, knowing that there are people like you helping take care of town. So thank you and your team, and same to you, Chief. Really appreciate what you're doing. It means a lot, probably a lot more than you know. Just feels very good to know that we have you here. So thank you. And thank you. Everyone said congratulations, but thank you, Mayor, for saying you'd stay on another year.
Thank you.
That makes me feel good. And thank you, Jason, for dragging me here and for, so my master plan is that we'll groom him for a while, and then when you don't want to do it anymore, we'll put it in the mayor's seat, but.
End of this year, I am done.
I had so much fun on the search committee that I decided to put my name in, because I just really enjoyed meeting you, Jacob, and I'm confident you're gonna do an incredible job, and I just thought I want to be alongside, so here to help you, and look forward to working together.
All set?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll try to be as brief as possible. So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone in the audience for showing up. Caleb, good to see you again. Always good to talk with you. Thank you very much for everyone who does show up in here, because there have been many meetings where the council has outnumbered the people in the audience. It's usually, I mean, you assume that rear corner seat that Mr. Hollenbach took for years, so sometimes it wasn't even him. So thank you all very much. And Natalia, thank you very much for doing what you're doing. I was thrilled to hear that you were taking up papers, because I really enjoyed working with you and Lindsay and the rest of the group on the search committee. And I will reiterate, we did an excellent job. Pat ourselves on the back, and Jacob, we're very pleased to have you on board. So I'm looking forward to working with you this year.
Jason, I appreciate you, taking out papers again. I'm really glad that you had, and I'm very, very comfortable and quite pleased with the horsepower we have in the council now. I think we have great things to do. Last year was an exceptional year in many, many levels, an exceptional year in the town. It took long nights, a lot of conversations and wringing of hands and pulling of hair. I used to have more. Here's proof right here. So thank you all, council, and I appreciate your vote of confidence to let me lead you for my last year here. So thank you for that. I also want to mention Chief Morris again, Superintendent Littlefield, Chief, and the people that you represent, Superintendent Littlefield and her representing the school systems. Donnie, you and your crew and everyone you represent. Jacob, you and your crew and everyone that you represent here in the town. The last couple of weeks have been trying, to say the least. There was a lot of people that stepped up, didn't have to, wasn't in the job description. They did it because it was the right thing to do. That's how people in Pittsfield work. That's how we make Pittsfield great again. That's how we keep it great and make it better. So thank you all very much, and please pass those words on to your people. I know that you do. So you know, if they don't get told by anyone else, please let them know. You know, the council appreciates it. We see it. Other people see it, but they don't always say it. So thank you very much. Minor point, the open house of the hangar, I think it's something we should absolutely celebrate. So if you want my input, council's input, please let us know, because I think that's something we need to trumpet.
Yep.
Not to add more to your plate, because I know you're a very busy person here, but certainly something we really should consider. So thank you for considering that. And just another quick note, the operation of this system with YouTube and Facebook. Will you have notes on the webpage to let other people know? Okay,
It's working well.
just, yeah, understood. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much for that. So if the council would please hang out, I'd like to have some photographs taken of last year's. I know Brent isn't here this evening, but if he won't be able to make it for a while, at least have it done. Next time we show up, we'll have everyone here anyway. And he'll keep your spot warm in the lineup. So when so if you don't mind, perhaps we could have a photo for 2024 this evening, if that'd be all right with everybody. All right, great. So I really have nothing else. Thank you, Ben, for your confidence in my leadership, and I'm looking to a fantastic final year of my tenure here in town Pittsfield. So with that, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion